Hey Danny, do you know what today is?
No, what's today?
It's our 500th episode.
What?
Huzzah!
It's yeah, I know. I can't believe we've already made it to 500. It's a lot when you think about
That's a
that.
lot of episodes. And one day, when we reach that overnight success, the people are like, I can't believe it. These two guys are just chatting on there about nothing. Overnight successes. They didn't work for it. We'll look back and we'll be like, 500 episodes of the Existential Stoic podcast with
That's
your
right.
hosts, Randy and Danny. What's going on, Danny?
What's up, Randy? It is amazing though. It's a lot of you know, in a not sort of morbid way, I guess. I always think of it too as something positive because like I was saying that Hannah the one day, I was like, it's funny because it's like we do this every week. But I was like, if one of us ever loses the other, I was like, we have a whole resource of conversations we had, which is
Yo,
nice.
Danny, you better believe that I'm downloading them, feeding them into an AI, and just making a version of you.
Yeah, right. There you go. Oh man, it's a good idea. We could do that.
Yep, bingo. I know we
Uh,
got each other for life. But
that's
it's
funny.
interesting because this all started. So like we knew each other when we were younger, and
Yeah.
then we kind of, life and everything, we lost contact with each other. And we would call each other like maybe like once every 6 months or something like that.
Yeah,
And
every
we'd be
few
like,
months,
oh,
I
what's
think.
going on? Yeah.
Yeah.
But then we just decided to become friends, like real
Yeah.
friends, and just started talking with each other regularly. And then, have adding this made it a lot better.
It did. Well, you know what I liked about having this was it gave us a commitment each week to make sure that we could, because I think it was we both were, you know, throughout our lives, I think we both had because we were doing stuff, we were living our lives, right? It would take us to different places, geographically speaking. So we weren't like when you're not in the same area, it's hard to. I mean, I know how it is, right? Everybody does. It's hard to stay in contact with someone when you're not in that location. And it was just lucky that I remember we happened to both be in the same place again. And then we decided to do this because it was like, well, this way, like even if we're not in the same location, we have a reason to chat every week. And it worked out really
Hmm.
well because it's 500 episodes later and what, seasons later? So 5 years.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's worked out really
That's
well.
crazy.
And it is crazy because I think that happens to a lot of people and it's sad, right? You have good friends that you know, but then life happens and it's easy to forget when stuff's not like in your like local world, like your proximity, it's easy to just forget about it.
Hmm.
People and things.
Yeah. And like the added benefit is that, it's not just about us. Other
No.
people listen to this too.
Well, it
And
was about us when
you
we
know,
started, but yeah.
yeah, but like just we've some people have mentioned how it's helped them out and how they
Yeah,
get a lot from it and they enjoy it. And that's just like the coolest thing ever because not only does it improve our lives, but it improves other people's lives. And they probably pass that on to other people. Like maybe they learn something, they feel better about themselves, they may laugh at a stupid joke that we make. And that it just kind of spreads the goodness throughout the world.
it does. Oh, I remember when we started, we were like, well, if it helps one person, that's worth doing it, right? So like,
Hmm.
I think it has. I hope it has.
Yeah.
I mean, we've gotten some
Yeah.
feedback, so that's good.
Heck yeah. So we just figured for this 500th episode, we'll just do a free form episode
Yeah,
because Danny and I have been up to a lot of stuff and
it's
yeah,
been
uh,
busy.
it's been busy. And I've had a heck of a beginning of the year. It's been like one of those years for me. My goodness.
Dude, one of those years. It's been going by so freaking fast too. It's like
Hmm.
I was just looking at the calendar. It's like tomorrow's April. What the
Yeah.
hell happened?
Yeah. Yeah. It did speed up quite a bit.
Oh my God, so fast. So what's been on with your
Yeah.
year so far?
I've just had, how like sometimes life will throw something at you and it just
Yes.
like takes a lot to get over it. And then you finally get over it and it's like, ah, this year life has just been throwing one thing after another at me and oftentimes many things simultaneously. And I'm like literally, it's just everything to get over it. And then I get over it and I'm like, okay, fine, I can take a breath. And the next day it's just like, oh my goodness. So
Another thing.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
been kind of nonstop this year and it's been challenging for
Yeah.
sure.
It is though.
Hmm.
It is hard. Life is hard. And I think, I don't know. I feel like we forget too how fast things move nowadays. They just
Hmm.
like life is so much faster than it ever was before in the past because just the
I'm not sure.
information. Well, I don't
I'm
think it's
not sure
faster.
if
Yeah.
it's true or if that's because of the technology that we're using right now.
I think it's our per yeah, I think it's I should say our perception of it is probably true because or it's the perception of it rather, not the reality. But it
Yeah.
feels fast because it constantly seems like things are happening because we have all this information constantly thrown around. That even though those things probably happen, you're right, in the same amount of time that they took to happen before, it just feels faster, right? And I think too
Mhm.
with technology, like we see the developments go so quickly that it's like, and that's been one of the things that actually got me this year too, is like, we've been learning programming and stuff for like, changing careers and stuff. And it's funny because like at the one hand, I'm really excited that we did it at this time because there's so much is changing. At the other hand, it's like, oh my God, there's so much changing to keep up with. That it's like it almost feels like overwhelming. And then like, that fear of like, did you do it at the wrong time type thing, which you can never know, obviously. But
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's almost impossible to like get past the fear of getting left behind just because there's so much moving at such crazy fast speeds.
Yeah. And it's like that fear of like taking a break too, because that's what I mean. Like, right? You think like if you take a day off, you'll somehow be behind. But then I don't even know what I'm comparing myself to when I think that. You know what I mean? Because it's
But
like,
dude, no, I get that 100% because it's like you're trying to learn stuff to catch up with these people that are moving at lightning speed. And so like you're like, how can I move faster than someone that's moving at the speed of light? I think this is a physics problem.
it is a physics problem. But then I think of that too, I'm like, it's kind of stupid too, because it's like you're comparing yourselves to people that are already ahead of you anyway. So it's
Mhm.
like it's not like you're gonna overtake them, right? So it's like
Yeah.
it's this flaw of it's this flaw of outside comparisons in general, I think
Hmm.
that we just do all the time. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a mess.
Yeah. I've been taking some courses that are just crazy. I mean, I'm not going to talk about it in here, but my
Yeah,
goodness, the future is that the future of AI is eye-opening. Holy
it is
cow.
eye-opening. Well, and it's funny because like, well, we can talk about that. I mean, you know, I've been thinking about that a lot too, because it's like it's one of those things where you can't run from it because it's here and it's not going
Hmm.
away. It's like, and I think that's kind of one of the things about technology that's hard for a lot of people to wrap their heads around is like these new things will come out, and before we've even like processed what it could be used for or even understood it, it's already an application. Because there's this, in technology, that rush to get stuff out first and to be first and to have, because once they have once you get out first, you have all the power basically because you're controlling everybody else is trying to catch up to you. And so,
Dude, talking about power, like I feel like AI gives me superpowers.
yeah,
Like it enables me to do stuff that would have taken me so much time before. I almost feel like this is the promise that the internet and technology had. Like you remember
yeah,
back in the day when before like I don't know exactly when, but I'm gonna say like the 90s, early 2000s, where people thought technology would make our lives easier and it
we made
didn't.
it
It just
harder.
made it more complicated and like us more distracted than ever. But like I think that at least the way that I've been using it, AI has actually made my life easier. Like it's actually fulfilled that vision of making things faster, easier, better. And I feel like it gives me a superpower.
No, I actually agree with you because I think it does like, it's funny. I remember like when I first used Google, like I was amazed, right? Because like you could look up all this stuff so easily. Like we're like, I mean, 'cause, this was like we were in college, I think, at the time, and like I remember, going to the library because you had to write a paper and stuff, and even then Google
Like
wasn't
trying
good
to
for
find stuff
research.
on Alta Vista or
Yeah, yeah.
Netscape
Oh
or
God, it
like
was terrible.
Yahoo.
Yeah,
Gosh.
and
You
like
remember the Yahoo homepage? Holy
it's just
cow.
terrible. And like, and yeah,
Yeah.
and so like it was just getting information was hard, and Google really did revolutionize that. But what it did was it gave you the information, but you still had to sift through it. And then like as time went on, with their algorithms and stuff, it got almost worse in a sense because like it was, the information like you weren't seeing everything, and like there's just a lot of crap out there. And I feel like AI is interesting because it almost does what Google promised in a way, if that makes sense. Like because it gives you explicit information about something without all the BS and all the other stuff. Like you get rid of all that noise. It's super helpful. And I think you're right. Like I mean, it makes things so much faster. It's crazy. A lot of things. Depends how you use it
Yeah.
too, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. World's moving fast though.
Yeah.
It's
But
also,
it
yeah. Oh, go
is
ahead.
something that uh I mean, even just, I mean, we talk a lot about philosophy and self-help and everything. Just using AI for that, I've gotten more benefit. Now, granted, because I did study a lot of that stuff on my own before having
Yeah.
AI. but just like the application of AI in that just takes it to a whole new level.
Oh, dude, I've been messing around because when you feed it a text, like an actual philosophical text, it is awesome. The interactions you can have, like I think it will be a really cool learning tool for people moving forward. Like, because you can just literally interact with a book as if it was like a person,
Yo,
which
and
is
that's
really
not where it's
nice.
ending because literally
No,
there's going to be like 3D printed Plato's and Socrates and
I
Aristotle's
you just
and
don't.
then fed with AI. And like literally you'll feel like you're literally sitting on like the Stoic porch talking
Yeah,
with the Stoic philosophers.
yeah. I
And
was.
it'll be identical to doing it in real life.
It is. It's amazing. Like I fed it some open source books and it was just it's incredible and it can quote it and all. And so it's almost like interacting with the book in a very different way because when you read a book it's like a linear experience, right?
Mm.
But when you do it, especially certain works aren't meant to be read that way. So when you do it that way, it's kind of I don't know, you engage with it at a very different level. It's like having
Ooh,
like a
yeah.
philosopher with you to talk to or something.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's actually a new idea because there are like 4 books that I read over and over and over again. Like in the morning, I'll just read them. And that would be cool to like because like you said, they're
Yeah.
kind of in a linear version, but actually feeding it those 4 books and just having a morning chat with that GPT. Holy
Yeah.
cow, that's cool.
That would work out well, right? Yeah. I enjoy
Hmm.
it. It's fun. But I mean that's just it. Like I think that's it's almost like it feels almost like early internet days, right? Like with you're getting a lot of BS products from it because it's like that excitement, right? Where we're just rushing stuff out. But there's also a lot of good uses. And it'll either be
Hmm.
terrible or good. We don't know. But we'll see
Yeah.
how people use it.
Hmm.
Yeah. What else have we got? So yeah, we've been doing this or wow, we started this when we were in our 30s. Oh my God.
New decade. Well, hopefully we'll be doing this our 80s, 90s,
Yeah.
you know?
Isn't that
So,
crazy though? I think about that a lot too, because we are like it's like 40s is a funny time. I feel like I'm like the most level I've ever been in my life, like in the sense of like as a balanced self, I guess, if you want to think of
hmm.
it that way. But it's also
Yeah.
scary because it's like, that feeling of like, and I think this is like also social because you see all these like, overnight success BS things and all, and like the feeling like you're falling behind too is so palpable, I think, as you get older too, which is scary because
Yeah.
you don't want to like, I don't know, wake up one day and realize you don't know what's going on in the world or something. So yeah, that
Hmm.
fear too.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
well,
scary.
we are getting older, but that's the cool stuff because that's when they said philosophy is very applicable.
Yeah, because you
You
can
just don't
think.
have enough life experience. And remember like Henry Ford, he was saying, or someone, maybe it wasn't Henry Ford, but they were saying like 40 to 60 is a man's best years,
Yeah.
person's best years.
Well, it was one of the person's best year.
Yeah.
One of the ancient historians, I told you before, used to calculate a person's age by assuming that they completed their best work when they were 40,
Mm.
which is a great way
Yeah.
to calculate age anyway. But
Yeah.
yeah, if you think about it, it kind of makes sense, right? Because when you're young, you're not really like you don't have your own way of thinking yet. You haven't really come to terms with yourself yet. I mean, you think about it. I always find it amazing that we still send people to college when they're like 17 now or 18. Like you live most people live to be what, like 75, 80 now? Like
Mhm.
it almost makes no sense because you don't even know yourself yet at that time. And
Not at all.
yeah, we're asking you to pick something that you're going to do forever.
And
And
not
when you,
only pick it, but go hundreds of thousands of dollars into debt to make
yeah,
sure you're stuck there.
literally, yeah, it is like more
Yeah.
like a trap now than anything else. And
Hmm.
the value, it's like the value proposition's not there anymore for it. It's kind of crazy.
Worthless. Worthless.
It is funny. I feel bad like talking to people anymore about it because like I don't even want to recommend it to people. And it's
Hmm.
like, I
But
feel
you
like
can't
it's,
dissuade them, you know?
no,
You can't. And
that's social stuff
yeah,
too.
people need to make their own mistakes. It's part of life.
Yeah, it is. Seems like
Uh,
I don't know.
yeah. Yeah. So other than that, just it's been a challenge recently, but just keeping up every day, dealing with the challenge.
It's
Hmm.
always a challenge, isn't it? Week by
Hmm.
week. This has helped me though. That's the funny thing. This has helped me more than so many other things, just doing this weekly. I
Oh, I
mean,
look forward to it every week.
I do too. I would recommend it to people too. Like, just like schedule a time to talk with somebody once a week. It's so helpful.
Dude, or if you don't have a friend that you can do it with, program an AI with a
Yeah,
voice to do it and just record it and post it to YouTube.
you
And
could.
literally you talking with an AI bot. Oh my gosh. it'll be so helpful for you, and it'll probably become some popular thing or
Probably
not.
would actually, or not, but it
Yeah.
doesn't matter
Yeah.
anyway, does
Yeah,
it?
because you'll feel better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is the truth of it. But yeah,
Yeah.
so hopefully we'll have another 500 coming soon, I guess, right?
Yeah, absolutely. To the 1000th episode.
Yeah, until then.
All right. Well, that's all for this episode. If you enjoy it, we're always looking to hear what you want to have us talk about. So you can leave a comment below. You can also send us
Email
an
us.
email in the show notes. Yep.
Yeah.
Until next time, this is the Existential Stoic Podcast. Happy 500th, Danny.
Happy
Um,
500.
yep. I'll see
Yeah.
you later. Later, Danny.
Later, buddy.